friends, welcome back to this Homeschooling Naturopath. If you're new here, my name's Hannah and I'm a homeschool mom to 4, as well as a fully qualified naturopath living in New Zealand. On this channel, I really like to share content related to homeschooling, homemaking, motherhood, as well as some naturopathic info throughout some of my content here. Today, I'm sitting down to plan out my girls' independent homeschooling checklist for the week. So this is their personal little checklist that they tick off throughout the week, and I thought it would be helpful to just sit down and show you guys how I like to plan these out. So if you're interested, keep watching. First things first, I have got all my girls' independent subjects out here. This is my youngest daughter's stuff, my second daughter, and my oldest daughter, and I am just going to get started and show you guys how I do all of this. Okay, also what I have open here on my computer is my Canva in order to start putting in everything that I need to onto their checklist. So just to quickly clarify, we do science and history all together as a family. That is what I class as a group subject, and currently we're working on Gather Round's Creepy Crawlies as our main science and history base. And then of course we do a lot of other things for morning basket time, family devotionals, Bible study, read aloud, handicraft, artist, composer, all those bits and bobs. They are in our morning basket time, and so for my girls' checklist, I only have their independent subjects, so I will not put what lesson we're up to for Creepy Crawlies in their personal little checklist, because that is just, I don't know, that's just what I keep track of. I don't necessarily need them to be ticking that box off of their independent work. Okay, so first off, let me run you guys through what my oldest daughter is currently doing for her independent work. She is continuing on with the Good and the Beautiful Level 6 Language Arts program, and she is in the home stretch of that, so she's getting really excited to finish this. That is her main language arts component at the moment. She also, twice a week, is doing some creative writing, and I will share with you guys how we've been doing that in a minute. Her math that she's currently working on is the Good and the Beautiful Math 6, and we are currently doing math 4 days a week. And then she's also working her way through Gather Round Entrepreneurship, and yes, this is the high school book. My oldest daughter is about to be 12, but she is ambitious. So yeah, she's also been working on this guy here, and I will show you guys how I put all of this into her checklist for her now. All right, so first of all, for language arts, let me find the specific lesson that she is up to here. She usually has a pencil in her book. Where is this pencil? Try and keep her work private. Okay, here we go. This is where she's currently up to, lesson 106. Now, she is doing her language arts program only 3 days a week right now, because she is taking a couple of online classes, which we have in place of language arts. But generally, on the days that she does her language arts, she's been doing a lot more lessons than I require of her. However, for my planning purposes, I am only going to be putting 3 lessons into her checklist this week. And if she does more, then she does more, and that's fine by me. So I'm going to put in here now, she's doing 106, 107, and 108 this week. So let me pop that in her checklist. Okay, now for her creative writing, I do not require her to do any specific pages from her creative writing book here. In fact, what we've been doing is on the days I ask her to do creative writing, she just goes ahead and picks a couple of pages that she likes to do. I don't require anything specific of her, and also we have been photocopying these because I only have one of these. And I've talked about before, getting products shipped from the United States from the Good and the Beautiful is very expensive. So with a notebook like this, I just find it a lot easier to photocopy stuff, and so I can use it for my younger daughters as well. So yeah, I will just put down here on her checklist that she is to do something from her creative writing book 2 days this week. All right, for her math 6, she does math 4 days a week. And where is she up to? Here. Okay, we are up to lesson 18 this week in her math. So we do not do math on a Friday generally unless someone needs to, if they haven't done their 4 lessons for the week, which does happen sometimes. So this is her this week, so she'll be doing lesson 18. 19, 20, and 21 this week. Okay, and I do like to go through and get an idea of exactly what is expected, just so that I know, you know, if there's something that someone has been struggling with, or like some baking project or something like that. I really like to know that ahead of time, so they don't just open this up and be like, hey mom, we're doing baking today, or something like that. So yeah, I think all of this should be okay, but yeah, I definitely like to be aware if someone is probably going to need my help on any given day. Yeah, okay, so let me log these 4 lessons in now to her checklist. Okay, and then for her entrepreneurship, she is working on the high school level. We actually did gather around entrepreneurship, I believe back in 2022. Her and I did it, just the 2 of us. It was not a family group subject. We did it just her and I, and she's wanted to redo it, and this time she's moved on to the high school level, which is what she was interested in. So that is what we're working on now, and she is up to, where's her pencil? Here. Okay, we're up to lesson 13 this week. She doesn't enjoy the art very much. Okay, so this is what she'll be working on, and I do need to get my teacher's guide out here as well, but just for reference for her checklist, I know she's going to be doing lesson 13, and I'll also put the page numbers in her checklist here as well. Okay, aha! So this is a good example of why I have to go through and make sure I am prepared for the week, because this week in her entrepreneurship, we are making chocolate. I remember this from when we did it a couple years ago. That's a really fun activity her and I will be getting to this week. So that's a lot of fun. So good to be aware. Okay, and then, okay, that page. So let me put these pages in now to her checklist. Page 70, 71, 72, and 73 of her entrepreneurship. Okay, moving on to my, I keep saying my middle daughter, but that's just because she's been my middle daughter for 7.5 years. She's actually my second daughter now, because now I have 4 kids, so I can't keep saying middle daughter because I have 2 middle daughters. Anyways, this is for my 10-year-old. This is her independent work. So first off, she is currently working through Spelling You See. This is the workbook C, Wild Tales, which she's actually been really enjoying. Highly recommend that. It didn't work for us when we initially tried it a couple years ago, but it's been really great since I reintroduced it recently. I also have her doing a couple of pages of these 2 books here from Evan Moore a couple of times a week. I've got the Skill Sharpeners, Grammar and Punctuation, grade 5, and the Spell and Write, grade 5. And I'll show you guys what I do for that. She's also working through the Mindbender's Logic, level 3. We only do this on a Friday. It is one of her enrichment subjects. And then she's also doing grammar, Fix-It grammar specifically, and she is on the nose trade, the level 1. So, oh, and also her math. I don't have her math here. If you've been following, she does math on teaching textbooks, and so I don't have anything physical to show you, but I will pull up my phone and figure out exactly what lesson that she is on in her teaching textbooks, and I will put that into her checklist for her. So first off, for spelling, we do spelling 4 days a week. Sometimes she does it 5, depending on if she wants to or not. So let me figure out where she's up to. She should have a sticky note in here. Where is it? Sticky note. Okay, here we are. Cool, so this is how Spelling You See is laid out. This would have been the first day of this writing, which she's already done. I'm just sorry, I want to try and keep their work private here. Okay, 12A, so she's already done that. So this week for her checklist, she'll be doing 12B, 12C. 12D is like a write your own story type of day. So this is very much going to be up to her. I'll put it on her checklist anyways, but yeah, I don't know. And then 12E, which is like a quiz type of thing. It's a dictation where I read it to her, and she just writes down what I have read and counts how many words she spelled correctly before moving on to 13A. Okay, next up, she is working through this one here, Spell and Write Skill Sharpeners from Evan Moore. And I've just got a little piece of paper in here. Okay, cool. So she's currently doing this little section here. I really like how these books are laid out because they have just different, like, I don't even know what you call these, just different units, different set. Yeah, okay, they call them units in here. I don't know, I like the word sections, I don't know. And so every little unit is focusing on something else, which is pretty neat. So yeah, currently she is on this one here. Looks can be deceiving. Okay, and I will have her do, okay, probably these 2 pages here. She's already done, sorry, again, I'm trying to keep some of the work private here. Okay, so these 2 pages and then these 2 pages. Okay, next up, her skill sharpeners, grammar and punctuation. Cool. She's currently, I want her doing this unit right here, which is called Bug Trouble. We're working on a bug unit for science as our group subject right now, so this kind of goes along with that, which I thought was cute. So she'll be doing this whole section this week on bugs. She already did 1 page of it the other day. Okay, so I'll just have her, because I want her to finish this week. What have we got? 2, 4, 5, 6, okay, 7 pages. So I'll have her do, all right, I'll figure that out. But anyway, let me get all of these down into her checklist now. Okay, on a Friday, she does a couple of pages of the Critical Thinking Codes Mindbenders Level 3, and I will just figure out where she's up to and pop that down onto her checklist. I was going to say in her planner again. I'll figure out what page she's on and put that on her checklist. I only require 2 of these a week, and again, only on a Friday. Okay, and then finally her Fix-It grammar. Back here is just the teacher's manual, which is very handy to have. In case you're ever like, do I need the teacher's manual for Fix-It grammar? Yes, you do, because it has all the answers in it. And I definitely would not know all the answers if I didn't have my answer key in the teacher's manual. So anyways, this is where she's up to for grammar. And I'm pretty sure she's only got, yeah, she's only got 3 days of grammar this week. Okay, and then that's a new week, so I will only have her do 52, 53, and 54 this week for grammar. Okay, and then like I said, for her math, she is working on teaching textbooks, and so I've just opened up my parent portal and seen where she's up to, and so this is her next lesson here, lesson 98, and she does math 4 days a week as well, so I will pop although quiz, I also count a quiz day that will take up a day, so she'll be doing these 4 this week. So let me get that written down into her checklist now. Now to my youngest daughter's work. My youngest daughter just turned 8 years old. This is all of her stuff. So currently, right now, I grabbed her these phonics flashcards, which we've been working on every day when we go to do reading. She just does 4 of these every day, and we're just working through them day by day. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is all she does. So I will figure out where we're up to with that based on last week and put that down in her planner. Sorry, now the baby's waking up and squirming around on me. Let's get these guys out for reference. Instead of doing a proper reading curriculum right now, we are just working on reading books every day. So 5 days a week she picks a book to read. It's not necessarily from this pack, but she reads me some type of book every day, 5 days a week. I have her doing handwriting 3 days a week, so and all she does from this is 1 page a day, so I will figure out where she's up to with her handwriting and pop that on her checklist for her. Okay, math, her book is totally falling apart at this point in the year. She's just about finished this. She's doing so well. Okay, she is up to lesson 94, so we will be doing 94, 95, 96 and 97 this week. Okay, cool. So let me get that down onto her checklist for her now. Okay, she's also working on this book here, which we just call phonics, and I do not pick a specific page for her with this book. She usually chooses on her own, so I will just write down on her checklist phonics, and we will do this 4 days a week. There's a lot to choose from in here. Okay, on a Friday, as part of her enrichment, she does story writing, and so I will just put down story writing on a Friday for her. And finally, on a Friday as well, she does the Critical Thinking Co-Mindbenders Level 2. It's time to stop planning for now. While I'm also thinking about it, my older two in particular have assigned reading, which they also work throughout the year. I do not tell them exactly what book to read when. They know how they have to lay out their assigned reading for the year in order to make sure they have read all the books I have assigned for them, but I do not put that on their personal, independent checklist, because that's something they just kind of keep track of. So I don't even know what independent assigned reading they're doing right now. I should probably go figure that out to actually see where they're up to. So yeah, that also is not included, but my girls do a lot of assigned reading. But again, I don't put that on their personal checklist.